Hello, what's up? Stay smiling, right? Oh, yep, little setup change. Anyways, why you can't get girls? Now, there's usually, if you're a normal boy, right? If you're a normal guy, if you're an average person, there's usually only one reason why you can't get girls, which is your mindset, right? It's a limiting belief. So, my college started around a month ago, I'd say, yeah, a month ago, maybe 3.5 weeks ago, right? And I made a friend, right? I'm gonna call him D. And D liked this girl, but he didn't know game at all, at all. Like, bro, he acted like his game was like zero, bro. Like he acted like a normal normie, how a normal normie would, like, try to talk to girls. Like he'll go message her good morning, tell her about how like his feelings, ask her all the questions, right? Just keep asking her questions, make it like an interview for her, do stuff like that. And I tried to help him, and I did in fact help him a lot. He learned a lot from that relationship than he ever could have, in like without me, right? The thing is that the only reason he did not get that girl was because of his mindset, right? He had a few limiting beliefs, which a lot of guys have nowadays, right? Because of social media and a bunch of other crap like that, because of movies and stuff. First limiting belief is height. Bro, this guy was actually hell bent on height, bro. He was around, I guess, 5'4", 5'5", around that, right? He was like a good inch. He's a good inch shorter than me. So if I'm 5'6", he's just like barely 5'5", right? And he's shorter than the other girls too, right? So the tallest girl in my class is around 5'5", so all the girls are shorter than me. But so the girl he liked was taller than him, right? And he was insecure about that. So we'd be sitting, me and like a few friends would be sitting, like four or five, and we'd be telling him that go speak to her, and he'd be like, no, I'm too short, my height. And I was just like, bro, it's not that deep. It is not that deep. Your height doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's short guys who pull. There's fat guys who pull. I mean, I could say that even like your weight doesn't matter. And I'm gonna go ahead and say that to some extent it doesn't. But it just makes you feel filthy about yourself, right? Your body is like, now I understand when people say that it's more for you than it's for girls, right? Because earlier I used to be like, there's no shame in making a body for girls, and there is no shame. That's true. But when you get to a certain level, right, you realize that you understand the meaning of that quote, because there's actually no need to some extent, no need of having a body, because girls like you anyways. Like if you portray yourself in a certain light and you have confidence, girls will like you anyways. So there kind of is no need to build an aesthetic physique. But then I think that I want to look this way, right? I love looking at myself this way. I love being strong as hell. I love looking cut, right? I love having a six pack, right? And that's beautiful. That's so nice. Makes me smile. I smile when I'm talking about myself. That's how you know I love myself. Anyways, yeah, the first limiting belief is height. I'm 5'6". I pull all the time. You can do it too, even if you're like a midget. Actually, I should not be using that word. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be using that word. Anyways, yeah, even if you're like, is it actually an offensive word? I mean, I don't know. But even if you're like short, I take that back, right? Even if you're like really short. Anyways, uh, the second limiting belief, I mean, I could say weight, but I already went over that. Like, same with weight, bro. There's fat guys who pull, the percentage is just really less. The reason is that when you're fat, your guy friends make fun of you, right? If your male friends make fun of you, you're gonna have low self esteem. And if you have low self esteem, you won't have confidence. And if you don't have confidence, you can't pull. That's why it's good to have this. Because when you have this, then guys respect you more, right? I mean, of course, there's a lot of friend groups in which the fat guy, navigate the relationships, navigate the friend group, right? But it's not seen a lot, I'd say. Now, second limiting belief is your mindset, right? The thing is that a lot of guys are scared to cold approach girls in public and even in college, right? The reason is that they think that, what if the girl starts yelling in the middle of the class? What if she goes and says, tells, tells like the teacher that you're harassing her? What if she files like a sexual assault or harassment case against you? And you know what? I'm not even gonna try to hide it for you. If you do it in the worst way possible, if you do this in like the worst way ever possible, like if there's a universe in which everything went wrong, if you do it like that, then yes, sure, you all of that stuff can happen to you. You can probably land up with like an FIR against you or something like that. But if you have more than three brain cells, right? Let's say that. If you have more than three brain cells, you're in luck, my friend. And if you're watching this video, I assume you have more than three brain cells, so this should work perfectly fine for you, right? So you need to get that out of your mind that girls are gonna find it awkward and they're gonna find you creepy, right? And honestly, there are some girls who will give you like a side eye, right? But it's quite rare. Like if you approach like 30 girls in a day, maybe two or three of them, right? Maybe 10%. That's like 10%, even less than 10% of them will give you that kind of look, and they'll still say thank you, mind you. Like maybe there's one girl who like actually ignore you or do something like that out of those 30. But are you approaching 30 girls a day? I assume not, right? Anyways, yeah. Girls will love it if your intentions are right. If you have the right intention when you go and cold approach a girl, if you actually think she's beautiful and you get it through and you smile, right, then she's gonna love it. She's gonna smile back no matter how ugly you look. Trust me on that. That's what it is. It's all about the smile. Also, if you want to learn more about this, Discord link in the description. Join, message me. I'll sell you something. You can enjoy it and I can have my money.